Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Okay, welcome to Ancestor Says. If you're new to my channel, what's up? Make sure to hit that like and hit that follow and become a part of GD Soul Tribe. And that also gives your ancestors consent. It's kind of like a signal that, hey, you know, I'm tuned in over here. That doesn't mean it has to be limited to one reader. I always say we all, confirmation 999, y'all could be saying, but we all are here to serve the same purpose. We just all been through different things, different ways, and have different ways of breaking it down, explaining it, or giving meaning, or like lessons that we've been through that might resonate with you in one way or another. So it's never a competition. And second of all, I wanted to say before I even finish my introduction, is when we say false readers or karmic readers, that doesn't mean that they don't have gifts. That just means they use their gifts in a way that is more so trying to keep you in a loop so that you continue to come back to them, because eventually, I know I resonate with a lot of the 144, and a lot of you guys are gifted as well. You're just trying to find your way, and we all start there trying to find our way, and then we start growing and elevating. Like, just because you read cards, that doesn't mean that's the end all be all of your spiritual journey. And some people don't ever start reading cards. They just jump into other things. Like, they're a healer, they can do herbal stuff and things like that. That's what they go to. But some of us like to, it's just like nursing. Some people start off confirmation as CNA, LPN, RN, nurse practitioner, and go to doctor. Some people go straight to being a doctor. Some people go to straight to being like a nurse practitioner, and some just go to being a CNA. And some stay there, some want to grow. It all depends on you, your prerogative, and what's comfortable to you. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, but if you're somebody that's been rocking with me since day one, hey, please remember these are collective energy pools, so you take what resonates to you and leave the rest behind. All my energy pools are timeless, so it can be current, future, or present. I've been getting a lot of downloads, so I'm learning my own niche and how I want to present them. I want to make my videos a little shorter, but I want to still get the message out and get to the creme de la creme. So bear with me as I'm learning to adjust, okay? All right, and if you are new to my channel, please be mindful. Watch the disclaimer and disclosure messages that's pinned at the top of my channel. I tend to channel a lot of names, so if I say a name and you have nothing to do with the situation, it doesn't resonate with you at all, then please, it's not you. Just enjoy story time at Tarotland. But a hit dog will what? How? So yes, another thing I was being led to talk about is the cycles. When we talk about cycles and timelines, again, when we talk about timelines, it means some people are on different stages of their journey. Y'all might be seeing 1313. Somebody's birthday is on the 13th, the month of January, and the month of March is significant. Y'all could be seeing 777, 222, 727, 333, 1212 as well, 111. And if you're seeing that, then it's probably going to resonate with you. Another thing I was getting was be mindful and use your discernment, because sometimes you are put in a path or put in alignment with people that kind of play with the energy, and a lot of that is to test your discernment. I was getting a lot of people tend to get to a stage, they'll start it and then they start doubting it because they feel like it's much trickery, but we all know trickery is of the devil, okay? It's always going to be opposition in terms of spiritualist, religion, or anything of that. 131 on the clock. Also, another thing is, like, there's a lot of people that believe in one thing or another based upon how they were raised. But for me, I feel like it's always good to do your due diligence to go after or go see for yourself in terms of what you believe and what resonates with you. Another thing I was getting was people get confused because we love on or acknowledge our ancestors, spirit team, archangels and stuff. Never get that misconstrued, especially over here. I can't speak for anybody but myself. God is always number one. My ancestors wouldn't be able to protect me, be able to communicate, show me, reveal things if God didn't allow them to. So be mindful of that. I 100% believe in God, and I'm not gonna have to explain that too many times. 132, so 1 2 3, things are going as they should, which we've been getting a lot this week, and a lot of cause and effect. 3 2 1 as well. Y'all might be seeing that. So even if your situation is not idle, it's going as it should. A lot of us have a lot of confusion when it comes to being tested on our faith, and I was one. I will be completely transparent. A lot of my journey, especially at the beginning, I was so like, if this is what you want me to do, God, then why is this happening? And I kept getting that, like, your faith is being tested. And he was giving me the answer, but I still was not receiving the answer because it wasn't what I wanted to hear. It wasn't what I wanted to know. So sometimes we're going through things. It's not always spiritual attacks, and sometimes it is. But you, either way it goes, it's still like how you gonna act type of energy. Y'all might be seeing 6 weeks. June is significant. May is significant. Y'all might be seeing 1333. Somebody's birth. Somebody is 33. Somebody's 31. Somebody's 30. Somebody's 35. 52 as well. 1992 is the year somebody was born as well. July 28th is somebody's birthday. 37 confirmation. In 1973, the month of December is very significant. Again, second confirmation, a big confirmation. Okay, August is significant as well. Somebody's birthday is in August and somebody is 33. Okay, October the 17th is significant. Y'all could be seeing 10 10 10. Also July the 10th is very significant as well. That's somebody's birthday as well. So yes. And then it's totally normal to go through the phase where you're trying to check yourself, like, am I crazy? Okay, that's totally normal. You'll go through that phase. Oh yeah, and the thing about solitude is something that a lot of times is required because you are being put in a situation where you have to work through your own doubts and your own thoughts. You're put to yourself, like, especially when you are a believer. I was always raised in the church. I've always believed in God. But let's be honest, it is a time where life be life, and whether it's up, down, whether you rich or you just stable and things just flowing, you forget to thank God. You forget to tell God thank you. We all been there. Don't be ashamed of that. Just remember to add him in your daily thoughts. Even if you just say a prayer when you wake up, a prayer before you go to sleep, pray before you eat. But you don't have to be perfect. A lot of people get that misconstrued. Perfection is something that we put on ourselves as humans on earth. God says 1,000 times in the Bible, nobody's going to be perfect. A lot of this is based on your intention. What are you doing with your gifts? What are you doing with the knowledge that you have gained? What are you doing from, the blessings that I gave you? What are you doing with it? What is your intentions? And a lot of people get there, and when confirmation, and a lot of people get there, and then once they get there, it's like they forget who put them there. They forget how they got there. They forget that if God can give it to you, he can take it from you. And people take that as a joke. See, God is nice, he's loving, he's sweet. But as you get to know him, he is funny too. He has a funny sense of humor. He has a different way about him and the way he moves. And we'll never understand it completely. But it's not meant for you to only understand. That's why you walk by faith and not by sight. You're not going to get the end result. And let me tell y'all something else about me. Quick disclosure, because in the same sense of me being able to read your energy, and I know stuff and I can feel stuff and I can see stuff and hear stuff about you, I always feel like it is always courtesy for me to be transparent and tell you stuff about me as well. Because who wants somebody telling them and reading their business and I don't tell you anything about myself? Look, chosen legacy. A lot of people that I resonate with are chosen, and you are chosen to build a legacy for your bloodline, your generation. And if it's not building on it, it is revamping it. One of the two. If it's already a legacy laid, you'll be the one, the matriarch, the one that's going to keep it going. And if it's not, you're going to be the one to reset it for your ancestors. Okay, please remember, our ancestors was human. They made mistakes just like us. And a big thing is on humility. Just because you have that magic, you have that power, you have your ancestors, you have the ability to call them down and say, I need help or handle that or whatever, don't mean to abuse it. And that's where people get it misconstrued at. And a lot of people that's chosen, especially of the 144, you have certain things in you, because there are people that's gifted outside the 144, but this 144 have certain things about them, gifts about them, things embedded in them that's stronger and that's like more special and more unique. And that's to help this new world order, which we hear a lot with birth of the new world. And we see that now happening right in front of us in terms of technology, in terms of weather, in terms of the way things are changing. They even trying to change the zodiac chart. So we see that going on right in front of us, and just know that none of that is by mistake. God controls everything. I always tell y'all, good and bad, dark angels, light angels, and from them that's it in between. But me saying that does not mean that you are unaware of who made you and put you here. Just because you're somebody like me, like I'm a light, I do light work, but I have very much so connections, which I very much so have access to. However, you having that duality does not mean that it's meant for you to go and dibble and dabble. It's for you to understand it. And also for you to, bless you, baby, bless you. Confirmation, times three. It's for you to understand it, and for you to understand how to protect yourself, and for you to be able to recognize it as well. So that's that. But a lot of people that I resonate with, they are chosen to build legacies for them and their bloodline. Another thing I was getting was, oh yeah, lack. One of the hardest things for us to understand that lack is a mindset. And no, when I used to hear that, I used to be like, what do you mean? But the only time you don't have enough is when you feel like you don't have enough. And a lot of times people get themselves caught up in comparing what they have and what other people have to themselves. And then that's where that conforms at. But I mean, we know people purposely want you to feel less than, and they will purposely do things and go out their way to make you feel like you're missing out on something. I'm not saying everybody that's prosperous, because God has people that He anoints and that He grants that are prosperous. But that's how you know, the example is how you see some people that's well off and wealthy. You still see them wearing Walmart t-shirts, khakis, and flip-flops, where others, they have to have Gucci, Prada, Fendi, and all that stuff. So that's an example of that. 144 on the clock. Y'all might be seeing that. Another thing let me finish that statement. So that being said, it's like when you feeling like you don't have enough, and that's something you're gonna go through a test of lack. Okay, so when you feel like you don't have enough, remind yourself, like, I have everything I need. Do I want more? Yes, but wanting more and needing more are two different things. Okay. Another thing, sacrifice. As we know in the Bible, when they sacrifice, they used to sacrifice like pigs and stuff like that, you know. Now, I like to refer to as times changing. I don't know why people don't think that I don't know why people think it's an accident. God wrote the blueprint of the whole world and the way we're going. Like I always like to stress to everybody, it's your decision on how you use it, how you move, and what it means to you. Like in terms of technology growing. So it's easier to be a hacker, a scammer, a thief, and all that stuff. But it's also benefits to technology growing, because in terms of like the medical field, it helps a lot. In terms of like sufficiency, and getting like jobs and stuff done quicker and faster, it's a plus. But on the flip side of that, hackers and scammers. You choose which way you want to go. So it's the same thing in terms of your gifts. You choose how you want to utilize them, and you choose how you want to use the knowledge that's given to you. Avoiding pain. There's a lot of people that don't like the dark night of the soul because they want to avoid pain. They want to avoid the 33 on the clock. They want to avoid acknowledging the things about themselves that aren't so pleasant, because we all have characteristics that aren't so pleasant. And that don't mean that you are not of God. That don't mean that you're not chosen. That means you need to address it. And 1995 is also significant. And that doesn't mean he's poking at your imperfections. That means he's highlighting something that you need to address, you know, so you can keep evolving and getting better. And that doesn't mean that you have to change everything about you overnight. That means you move with the intention and do things that help you change that. Just like having a negative mindset. You notice that you complain a lot. You know you complain a lot. If you complain about it, I was a complainer. But every time you fix your lips to make that complaint, remind yourself, like, I'm going to just be quiet. I don't know why I keep complaining. Because when did that ever change anything? Okay? So you have to learn how to face the things about you and face events in your life that aren't so pleasant. Okay? Twisted narrative. Addressing illusions is a big thing as well. So you've been clinging to a version of events that lets you stay angry, stay right, or stay stuck. And that story is your cage. Limiting thoughts, letting yourself stay in a box, you know. And a lot of that can come from other people projecting. Like, a lot of people don't like change. So it's like, if you are the one person in your family that's moving differently, you're somebody that, like me, you grew up in the church, but it was fulfilling when you needed the knowledge of God and who God is and what God is, like an introductory. But then you want to know him for yourself. Like, then it's like, how do I seek God? And you can go to other people, of course, for guidance, but to truly find God, you got to go within yourself and find God and figure out what finding God means to you, and the purpose of you wanting to get closer to God, and that what type of understanding do you need, and pray and be open to the ways that he decides to give you your answers. I feel like religion, God, your belief should not be put in a box. God is limitless. So why do we have to limit ourselves in the way that we reciprocate his knowledge, or the way we want to praise him, the way we want to acknowledge him? That's one of those limiting beliefs, and that keeps you stuck in a box. Not being willing and open to explore other ways. And as long as you're moving in a way that you are not hurting anybody, nobody should be offended. And the only people that get offended, and I'm going to say by us people that do have spiritual gifts, are people that don't mean you know well, or they don't want you to find out things about them or things that they've done that they thought that would never be figured out without you having your spiritual gifts. And unfortunately, a lot of us that are born into families and lineages, we're born into those particular situations for a reason. So a lot of times it's not easy. However, and a lot of times they are aware of like readings, psychic visions and stuff, and they want to shut you up. A lot of times they will, that's why they call you the black sheep, because you're the one that has the premonitions. You're the one that get the downloads and the dreams, and they want to make you feel like it's not real. And the whole time they just did that shit yesterday. This is something they did last week, you know? And then once you do shut it off or ignore it, then shit start happening in front of you, and it's like, damn, deja vu. Okay? All right, something on the something else on this avoiding pain. I'm going to clarify who these particular sections were. I had something else to tell y'all. And another thing, be mindful of distractions. Like, distractions can come subtly. You know what you're here to do. And if you're here and you're somebody that gives messages, also be open to evolving. You might start here, 3:03 on the clock, reading cards, giving messages, learning how to maneuver your gifts, learning how your energy, because everybody energy signature is different, learning more about you and growing. But don't ever limit yourself to one thing in terms of your growth. Okay, I feel like everybody with spiritual gifts have the ability to tap in, because that, a lot of that is what confirms what you are getting, like in terms of your gifts. Like, you're clairvoyant, or you can clairaugustance, or you know, you can see things, you can hear things. And again, a lot of us need that extra confirmation, and when you're seeing and hearing, then you know how to read, and you start in this exact thing, and it reassures that to you. As you grow, that becomes different. The cards I like to use for you guys when I'm giving messages or delivering messages, because when you say something and then it shows out in the cards, it's really hard not to acknowledge or accept the fact that this shit is real. All right, self-sabotage. So avoiding your pain could be a way of somebody in this energy do avoid their pain. They suppress their pain, and that is how they end up self-sabotaging themselves. I get there's men out here that feel like if they feel, if they cry, if they're sad, you know, they don't, they're not strong. But you are strong. There is strength in emotions and being able to express. There's a lot of people that think that that makes them soft, but like, that's a superpower. Okay, if you don't feel your emotions, how do you know how to process them? If you don't feel your emotions, how do you know how to get to the nitty gritty of why you feel like that and where that comes from? Because each little subtle emotion, there's a bigger root to that problem. Just like people that seem to be very jealous of other folks, and you don't have to do anything for them to be jealous of you. You don't even have to be a beauty queen for people to be jealous of you. But there's something inside of them, which most of the time is some type of insecurity. That some people be insecure of the fact that you can be, especially when it comes to spirituals, because people be wanting to explore other stuff, but they be stuck in the mindset from twisted narratives of their own relatives or their relatives' opinion, or what you've been programmed and taught growing up, that you're scared to step outside that box, and they see other people doing it, and then it makes them automatically not like you. And it's like, I'm just like you. I'm just not scared to go against the grain and follow my curiosity, whether you agree or not. And especially when you're not hurting anybody, you're just learning, you're searching for yourself. Like, if I did not, I could tell y'all, I remember the first day that I literally got reacquainted with the core of me going back to God. Like, no, I never stopped believing him. No, I never went, you know, too far away from him. But I did hit an error where I was not acknowledging, I wasn't praying, I wasn't telling him thank you, I wasn't showing gratitude for everything he blessed me with. And in the same sense, I was also going through a lesson, a cycle, a test as well, and it brought me to my knees. And when I was down on my knees, like literally, the first person that popped in my head was pray. Then the second thing that popped in my head was like, why haven't you been praying? Like, when was the last time have you actually said a prayer? Acknowledge God. Like, literally just you and him. And it has been a long time. And that right then and there, I surrendered. Like, God. I'm surrendered. Okay. But he had been speaking to me, and I've been dismissing it. I'm going to tell you, I've been started going through my awakening, but I kept saying, no, this can't be. Nope, can't be. Vivid dreams, but no. Nope. And then another side was when I knew where I was going and where I was supposed to be, it was like, you want me to do what? All I want is a little house on the prairie. You want to give me what? I'm like, oh no, that's too much. I had to start learning to believe in me and believe that anything that he wanted to give me or bestow upon me, I can handle. Like, period. And if God wants you and your ancestors want you, and they gonna make sure that you know that loud and clear, and they're not gonna take their foot off your neck until you acknowledge, hey, you're the one. Whether you want to be or not, it's you. Okay. It is also a thing where just because you're strong, you don't gotta be all. And this is for my ladies. Just because you're strong, you don't have to be all. And this is for my ladies again. I'm sorry I had to pause. I was talking to my daughters. Yeah. You could be strong and soft. That's where you have to integrate your masculine and feminine in as one together. You know what I'm saying? Like silent strength. And a lot of y'all, us in the collective, do. And a lot of people, and females especially, we have that silent strength in us. And sometimes it has to be awakened to us. Because like, oh, I don't want to say that. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. And God keep poking like, say it, do it. It's okay. Twisted narrative. Can we get something on twisted narrative? I like this message, guys. Karmic return. Lone wolf. Follower. And radical hope, and all these are in reverse. People want you to feel like you're not allowed to step out and be different. You're not allowed to choose something other than toxicity because everybody around you like that. You know, like they say, one apple spoiled the bunch. That's what I'm thinking of when I hear this. That's not true. You only get spoiled rotten if you allow that to rotten you. You have to learn how to stand in your power, control your energy, no matter what the circumstances are. And a lot of your journey is going to put that to the test. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be like that forever, but the beginning of your spiritual journey, you're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be put in uncomfortable situations. You're going to be like, and not just, sometimes it's not for a little bit of time. Sometimes it's longer than what you want. But you will learn as that time goes, like, hey, I have changed. This used to bother me. That used to bother me. I used to be so impatient about this. I kept praying to God every day about that. Like, he heard you the first time. It's okay to pray and ask and stuff, but don't think that he didn't hear you just because it's not like that. Because you're not the only one. It's a bunch of us. God loves all of us. It's a bunch of us. You know? And there's some people that's been in the dungeon longer than you. You just started. You got to wait your turn. I'm going to read it to you, though. Every action, every silence, every intention is all recorded in energy. And energy always seek balance. And also know that God is watching even when you think you don't. God is watching even when you think you got away with something. And that's where people get confused at. Mercy. But don't think that his mercy is unlimited. He will listen to it, but he's going to teach you. You're going to learn that lesson. And if you keep going back doing the same thing that he done already gave you mercy for, you have to understand, just like a mother and a child. After I done let you slide once, I let you slide twice, but this time you ain't sliding. Don't get mad at him then. 3:13 on the clock. Don't get mad at him when he put his foot down after he done gave you mercy time after time after time. Don't say God ain't God because he done gave you mercy time after time after time. And this time, he said, you gonna learn that lesson. Today, 727. I got radical hope. In a world hold on, let me turn it upside down. In a world littered with chaos and darkness, choosing hope is the wildest form of rebellion. And this is where people lose faith at, because they feel like, oh God, why is all this? Because the people have free will, just like you. You have the free will and the choice whether you're gonna be a part of the chaos or you gonna try to be a part of the solution. And no, you can't save everybody. And that's where you have to learn about boundaries. That's where the boundaries come in at. This spiritual journey is no joke, but there's a lot of lessons to learn. And a lot of us, like when I said, yes, I accept it, when I tell you what came next, I was appalled, and I won't even show. I'm like, this can't be right. This can't be right. But it was. It was. I never thought, though, that first of all, I never thought that I'd be here reading cards for y'all. I never thought that I would be so 10 toes down and believing in the unseen, believing in demons, believing in, like, I knew it, but now it's something way more than know it. I passed know it. I'm 10 toes down and that shit is real. I heard about black magic and all that stuff, but I've always been the other side of me that's like, I don't know. Could be, because I always believe in spirits and stuff. But can you really talk to them? Can you really hear them? Can people really do magic? I was always curious about that. But I never played in that shit. I never played in it because of my beliefs. And that's where the church structure had kicked in at. Like, nah, fuck that. You know? Because church, you know? No. But what? That shit is real. And going through your awakening, you will understand, you will know, and you can't convince people to believe in and see what you see, because they don't. You're different. You have to accept. That's the first thing you got to accept. You're different. Everybody ain't gonna be able to hear, see, think, view all that you can. It's not gonna happen. It's not meant for you. And again, that doesn't make you any better than the next person. That just makes you somebody that God trusted leadership and your ancestors. They came in on an agreement that, hey, we can trust them. Hey, they can do it. Hey, it's them. And you'll be surprised that the most vicious energy thieves are your family, because they be knowing it's true. They be knowing it's real. They be knowing. But do they want you to know? And some just don't believe. But it's not for you to convince them. It's just for you to just convey the message. And the ones that get it. And the ones that don't might not be meant to get it. And some of them, when it's time for them to understand, they will hear you in their head. You cannot be a follower and be chosen. You cannot be a follower and be a leader. You got to pick a side. And a lot of times leading means it's going to be a lot of pushback. It's going to be a lot of people that call you crazy. It's going to be a lot of people that just don't understand. But you just got to stay strong in your authority. Don't let people feed you false knowledge, even if everybody in the room is feeding themselves false knowledge, because it's easier to digest. Think about it. Who really wants to believe that people can be out here doing malicious things like with energy, black magic, and all that stuff? Because then it confused them. Like, if it's real, then why would God? Do you read the Bible? From the beginning of the Bible, Adam and Eve, y'all believe the snake convinced them to eat the apple, but you don't believe in bad spirits? Okay. Lone wolf. Let the pack doubt you. Sovereignty is standing firm in your truth, even, and this was in reverse. As time go on, confirmation, there's more people waking up, there's more people understanding, and there's stuff that's happening around the world that it cannot be denied what is happening. The world is just not evolving on the physical. Everything's evolving on the spiritual. And the veil is about to be so thin that people are not going to be able to deny that spirits are real. People are not going to be able to deny that people get possessed. People are not going to be able to deny that black magic work and is real. People are not going to be able to deny the most precious thing of all is that God is real. And a lot of people be sitting there and not want to believe it because the stuff they do in secret, it's like, oh my God, he really saw me? Yeah, he saw you. And he the only one that can judge. That's the person that you need to be most cautious of. And that don't mean I'm going to keep making sure I tell you. That don't mean that you have to be perfect. That means you have to be willing to heal, willing to be receptive of his critique. That's the only person that can critique me. Well, my ancestors too. Because when they do it, it's for the better good. They say shit because, yeah, I need to hear it. Because you need to hear it. And everything we need to hear, we don't want to hear. You think you want to hear somebody to pull your card on your shit? You want what? Who? But that's where, at the end, that's the ego. That's pride. Because when you wrong, you wrong. And you be knowing you wrong. And there are people that will feed that wrongness because, I don't know, because it's a bad connections. People are going to start fact checking the things that we say. Especially us that's in the spiritual world. Like, this spiritual community is growing and it's going to keep growing. That's why God is calling his leaders into place. People aren't going to be chasing the false narrative or having negative opinions on us. They're going to understand that we are sacred, and that our visions are not just for nothing. They are literally from a higher source. And like I always tell y'all, it's like the way I got it from God, it's like a company. He is the creator, the owner, the CEO. But then we got the Holy Spirit, we got the ancestors, there's deities, there is Lucifer, his minions, all that. It's levels to this. 3, 2, 1 on the clock. So I'm gonna close this message out. That was just for educational purpose and give you a little understanding of what's spiritual situations that y'all be facing, including me, and I faced and I went through, and I'm just like, thank God I'm here. Because let me tell you, through the process, I did not always have this stance of what it is or understanding, you know, and I kept getting, you're gonna understand when it's over, you're gonna understand why you went through this, you're gonna understand why this is necessary, you're gonna understand this and that. And I used to get so irritated with it because I'm like, stop saying that. And don't be ashamed when you get a little frustrated with God. You don't get frustrated, don't denounce him, don't disrespect him, but it's okay for you to get frustrated. If you don't, then how can you say you being real and raw with him? Because even if you don't say you frustrated, he know you frustrated. But that's a part of learning how to control your emotions. Virginia is significant. Some of y'all are in Virginia I'm talking to. Some of y'all in Delaware. I got Utah. These are some hometowns of people relevant with this message. Y'all, hold on, let me get these together. Maryland is very significant. All right. Just know, he chose you. He chose you. Florida is very significant. Iowa, I keep seeing, is very significant. Any more states that resonate with this for people to confirm? Oops, okay. We got Alabama. Somebody currently, you're watching me right now, you in Alabama. California. Any more states that this message is to resonate with? Hold on. I'm gonna let you pop out. Hold on. Illinois, that's been heavy in the energy lately. Colorado, heavy in energy. Arizona. Wyoming. Oregon. Let's get some alphabets. And that doesn't mean it's just excluded to these states, but the people that this message is reaching out for, I said reaching out for, yeah, your ancestors that's reaching out to you that really want you to see this. Can I get the first initial of their name or nickname that's relevant to this message? Can we get the first initial? I'm gonna come back on here. Somebody got an F in their name. P. O. Again, it's a P, O, or it's a police officer in this energy. A V. A W. Some of y'all already know this, and some people just wondering why. Some people been doing stuff for a long time, and they're wondering why God is coming down on them so hard. It's because you didn't listen. He told y'all stop messing with the people that are going through their awakenings. People, we got a J, a X. There's been heavy warfare on the 144, like, which is right. This is our time. We've been awakening, and we are in a position where we are going through the healing, and our healing has been being attacked. That's why. And then when God, God allows God allows certain stuff to come, and just look up the story Job in the Bible. That's the best example I can give you. Where Lucifer went to God and asked him, like, basically, hey, you have so much faith in Job, and when you do this for Job, how do you know that even like through pretty much chaos that he's still gonna serve you? And God like, what? I'm not spitting it word for word. I'm just giving y'all my version. God like, what? That's one of my strongest soldiers. What do you mean? Are you trying to, what? He's like, well, let me put him through some tests, or let me and mine do what we do, and let's see. He gave him a certain amount of time to do what he did, but when that time frame was over, even the devil, even Lucifer, knew he had to stop at that timeline. These people, or whoever you are, if it's you in this group, when that time frame was up, you did not stop. Somebody's 26. When that time frame was up, you did not stop. When God said stop attacking this one, stop attacking that one, stop attacking that one, time up for you to do that to that one, time up for this one, they're healed, they're done, they're done, they're done. You kept going. That's why you are under such heavy judgment, because you kept going. Even Lucifer, the one that you, because I'm not going to say you praise Lucifer, but you be giving them more offering and stuff than you do God. Some of y'all don't even acknowledge God. Y'all just believe one-sided. Y'all just believe in the black magic, but you don't believe in the higher power, which I would never understand, but that ain't for me to understand. I ain't never even try to understand. One thing for me that's not negotiable is God is number one. And if you got ancestors that don't understand that, or spirits that you deal with, or deities or anything like that that you deal with that do not respect that, then you need to watch what you playing with. Because if they don't respect God's word, then they gonna eat your ass up. Because even if God tell them to stop, they not gonna stop. But how can you expect him to save you when you ain't respect him from the beginning? You denounce him, and then when these fucking spirits and deities and all that stuff that you playing with is at your top, then you wanna call him. I'm just a messenger. 41, somebody 41, somebody 42, 144 again on the clock. I'm not here to judge. Like I always say, I just deliver the messages, and sometimes it comes out like it's judgmental. But anybody that channels and that's connected for real, you understand that the messages you cannot control. You say what you're given, what you're told, and that's just that. And if you don't understand that concept, then maybe you need to do some more digging and research. Look up the word channeling. What do people mean when they say they channel spirit? You gotta go. I started from not knowing anything in terms of technicalities with spirituality. I grew my knowledge in solitude with me and my ancestors. Literally, I was like, it's like hibernating. And a lot of, and I was being attacked, and I guess because I was hibernating, but that's what I already knew that was happening. Like, people are going to think they got you, they're going to think you down there. They're just having the time of their lives, feeling like they're winning. But that's how God wanted it. You're cooking right now. You're cooking. So when he told me to come out, I was a little, I'm comfy right here. I'm comfy with you in my spirit. I'm comfy in this cocoon. He like, I didn't put you in the cocoon to stay. I put you in the cocoon to come out, transformed into that butterfly now, get you till you're out there. And so I started creeping myself out here, and now I'm here. And I still got more to grow, more to learn. I don't know it all. I just tell y'all what they tell me. And I just give y'all information based upon my own experience. Things that I don't know about, things that I never researched, things that I never touched. I would never sit here and act like I know about it. That's why I'd be like, I don't know. But this is what they say, this is what they say. And then I will look myself, research. So, I'm going to close this message out with... Hold on, let me finish what I'm doing. I'm going to close this message out with Akashic Records deck. So, Spirit, can you give me something that all of us can take with us and reflect on? And thank y'all for helping me grow. Thank y'all for following. Thank y'all for learning. Everybody be looking for all the juicy stuff, which is cool, but it's all about healing. He reveals stuff. And if God is putting you on Front Street in the spiritual street, that's because it's about to manifest in the real world. If God is pulling your card, and most of the time it's your ancestors pulling your card, God just gives them the green light. It's because you refuse to acknowledge the truth. Or like this group, they refuse to listen to him when he's saying stop. And somebody about to be made an example. And I hate saying that, but it's like so many chances to just stop, and they just wouldn't. Study on your own. Just take a step back and sit with self and rearrange your thoughts. Figure you out. Figure your beliefs out. Figure out what you need to know, where the loose ends at. Figure out what you believe. You, not what you were taught, not what you were told. What do you believe? And that's crazy because we feel like we know, but when I did sit with myself, I'm like, how is that? What does that really mean? Then I think about how, when the preacher giving a sermon, the way he preaches stuff to you from his own understanding, and I'm not saying that's wrong. Just like I'm telling you from my own understanding, and then I channel things that your ancestors, mine, God, whoever, that's what comes to me to do it. But it's still your job to do your own research. It's still your job to step back, do your own research, and consider your options. Because my beliefs might not be the same as yours, and that's okay. Come up with your own resolution. And somebody, you need to learn how to forgive. But you got to forgive people before your miracles come in. That's the last part of somebody's healing. Some people need professional assistance. Like, if you've been going through things, and if that, whatever it is that you went through your awakening, you're in a spot where you feel like you can't heal alone, go get some help. 333 on the clock. There's nothing wrong with getting help. Sometimes you need help to figure out your mental before you can even fully indulge in the spiritual, because indulging in spirituality, you got to have that mind right, because that shit will it will take you down so many different roads. Psychosis, if the mind ain't right, and people will be attacking your mental on top of you, and it is already not right. Like, take the time to step back. So seriously, y'all, for real, because this shit is not a game. If your mind ain't ready for, because your ancestors will blow your mind in terms of confirmations for you, that you would be like, what the fuck? And a lot of times it's in that time where you are alone, that it's only for you to see. It's only for you to understand. And that's why you don't stop telling everybody everything. You tell them what you're led to tell. Some stuff is meant just for you. And once you get that down, use your discernment. And then if you can't understand or know the difference, use what God gave you. If you know how to read cards, get your own deck for you. I keep telling y'all that. Yes, look, for real. Study. Study, fell out. Study. Confirmation. But the most important part of this awakening is having faith. And the first person you gotta have faith in and accept is God is real. God is what makes everything run. He created every piece and crevice of this world, from the living to the non-living, from the spiritual realms to the earthly realm, from you to the goddamn ground and the trees and the grass, to the fish, to the bees. He even created Lucifer. That was his son. First thing you gotta do is make sure you strengthen that bond and you stand 10 toes in faith. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. It's one thing to have faith when things are going your way, when everything's in your favor. But the real test of faith is, do you believe when you are in the dark? Do you believe when you're getting no's? Do you believe when things aren't going your way? And that's that test. And you feel like you're being punished, but you're really being tested. Do you still believe God is moving for the better good of you, even if he say, cut that person off? And that could be your person you've been with for 10 years. That could be your mama, your sister, your cousin. And sometimes it's your grown-ass kids. If he tell you, walk away, and you don't even know why, do you trust him? Ask yourself. Okay? So, at this point, I give you your energy back to you, and I call my energy back to me. I hope I gave you something that gave you some understanding and clarity. Oh, they tell me to do the zodiac signs. Let me pull out the zodiacs, okay? All right, and then I'll close you out. But at this point, I call my energy back to me, sealed and protected. But yes, I do, everybody like the little juicy stuff, but this not just to expose people. My channel is not just for exposure. It's not just for like, oh, no. And even when I'm channeling that, it's like, oh my God. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. However, I'm all about growth and healing. God exposed you so you can recognize the things that he keeps trying to tell you, but you keep ignoring. And then people get offended, they take it the wrong way, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Either you take the information he's trying to give you and you let it open you up, and you just be like, all right, you're right, Lord, I was tripping. I did do that. You know what I'm saying? You accept the reasons why you're having to deal with this, or why you're having to go this, or why he took this, or why that, or you don't. At the end of the day, he's still God. At the end of the day, he's still, I don't know how many times to say that, he's still him. He still created you. He's still the master of everything. He's the master of all of us, even our spirit teams, even these deities. If he tell them deities that y'all be conjuring for blessings and stuff, if he tell Lucifer or any of them to back off, to stop, not to, they're going to obey God. You might not, but they will. There's a group that's experiencing that right now. They're not getting answers from their ancestors. They're not able to reach. And sometimes he do that because you need to come to him. And some people don't want to do that because they know they be dead ass wrong. Can we get the signs, air signs? Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Somebody, moon sign, your moon is in air. Okay. Anybody else? Who else is this message for? Aries, sun, moon, or rising. Who else answer? Who else? Aquarius. Rising. Somebody's rising sign is in Aquarius. My thing about to fall. Okay. Hold on. Libra. Then we have a Cancer. That's a dark empath. Capricorn, dark empath. And we have a dark Gemini. So there's a dark Gemini. There's a dark Cancer. And there's a dark Capricorn in this energy. Then we have somebody that's a Libra upright. Somebody got a rising sign and Aquarius upright. There's an upright Aries, and then air sign, moon sign. All of the people that resonate with this might have a moon sign in air. Okay, because that was moon sign air upright. Okay. Oh yeah, learn your birth chart. Go check your birth chart out. That helped me a lot as well, because I kept hearing that, and I finally got me a book where I could learn about birth charts and stuff. And I did my own birth chart, and then I understood, oh, that's why it broke down like karma that I had to pay, and it broke it down that like each house from my name to my birth date to everything, and the lessons I had to learn, and how this cycle will keep going till you learn this, that, there. It really helped y'all. So I'm about to check out. I'll be back later. 341 on the clock. So somebody 41, somebody 43. Okay. 34. All right. So as I always tell you, remember to pray. Bye guys.